show where we expose those three little words that men find so difficult to say. I don't know. And here to prove that point once again on the experts portion of the show is my Uncle Red and his best friend in the whole world. Oh, okay. Mr. Dougie Franklin. Alrighty, dear experts, my son has had several throat infections over the years, and our doctor is now saying he should have his tonsils out, which I thought was no longer a recommended procedure. What are your thoughts?
My advice to this person is get away from this doctor and every doctor as fast as you can. Flee.
So you don't think this viewer should see a doctor then?
I don't think anybody should see a doctor. You know, the human body is nobody's business. You know? My daddy never saw a doctor a day in his life. Now, he smoked a pack and a half of cigarettes, plains, a day. And, you know, sure, once in a while, he might get a little coughing spell that might last like a weekend or something. But apart from that, he was as healthy as you or I.
So you never been to a doctor either, Doug?
Never been to a doctor, a dentist, or a psychiatrist. I'm telling you, the human body was not designed to be repaired from the outside. If the good Lord had meant this to be, he would have put a hood on us somewhere, I reckon. As soon as you've got to slice through skin or start sawing through bone, you got to know you're dealing with something that was designed to be maintenance-free. You know? I tell you, you get in there and, you know, start tinkering with stuff, and you're going to void your warranty with that master mechanic in the sky, I'll tell you that.
And now it's that part of the show where we expose the three little words that men find so difficult to say. I don't know. And here to prove that point is my Uncle Red and, of course, his best friend, Mr. Hap Shaughnessy. Here's today's letter. Dear experts, last fall, my brother went deer hunting and gave me some venison steaks, but I forgot to refrigerate them. This spring, after the snow thawed, I noticed the meat was still sitting on the back porch rail where I left it last November. Do you think the meat is still safe to eat? I don't think we need an expert to answer this one.
Oh, that's right, Harold. The meat will be just fine. Isn't that right, Hap?
Yeah, one winter's nothing. I remember when I led a group of diggers from the University of Tel Aviv on an expedition to Greenland, and we came across this dinosaur that was frozen and buried in the glacial tundra, and I thawed it out, and the meat was delicious.
So you ate Brontosaurus, Hap?
No, not Bronto. Yeah, no, this was Strato. Stratocumulosaurus. It had fallen into an ice crevice, and it was perfectly preserved. All except the tip of the tail. That was a bit rancid.
Well, he's the expert on rancid tails. So tell everybody, how did the dinosaur taste?
Dinosaur's a bit gamier than anaconda, but not quite as fatty as, say, killer whale. There's a lot more meat on the Stratocumulosaurus. Yeah, it was a big fella.
Right up to the clouds, I bet, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was going to bring back all the extra flesh and maybe try to market my own brand of dinosaur meat, you know, and I registered my own trademark, brand name.
Hap's Dino Dogs?
No, Jurassic Pork.
And now it's that part of the show where we expose the three little words men find so difficult to say. I don't know. And here to prove that point on the expert portion of the show, of course, is my Uncle Red and his good friend, Mr. Hap Shaughnessy. Alrighty, dear experts, I want to live a life filled with excitement and adventure. I want to live on the edge, to gobble up the world and spit it out. I want to plunge headfirst into danger and shout at the devil. But I don't have the nerve or even anything remotely dangerous or different in my life to even think about trying that. Is there a secret that gives the courageous people the courage to do adventurous adventures?
Well, yes, there is, Harold. It's called total lack of foresight. I mean, if these idiots could see what was coming, they would never become parachutists or race car drivers or parents.
Well, I'm going to have to contradict you on that, Red. I mean, taking risks, that's It's an obligatory part of the human experience. I mean, where would we be if I hadn't taken risks? There'd be no such thing as insulin. No passenger side airbags. No United Nations.
No lie detector tests.
Hey, excuse me, I think we're just getting a little bit off topic here. Our viewer wants to know if there's any hints that you can give him about, developing courage.
Well, here's a trick that I used just before I jumped the English Channel. I stared at myself from top to toe in the mirror and I said, all right, if this doesn't go well, then what's the worst that can happen? You got 2 sets of everything, eyes, ears, arms, legs. That makes one of them a spare. You got a 50% margin for error. Well, with fingers, you can make 9 mistakes and still be able to dial 911.
And now it's that part of the show where we expose the 3 little words that men find so hard to say. I don't know. And here now is the expert, my Uncle Red, and of course, his good friend, Mr. Hap Shaughnessy, local fisherman and raconteur. Alrighty. Dear experts, there's a guy at work that drives us all crazy. Whenever he tells you something, it's so full of lies and exaggerations that you can't believe any of it. What's with this guy?
Well, Hap, this sounds like it's more in your area.
Well, it's a self-confidence problem, isn't it? People who stretch the truth, generally trying to make themselves more important than they really are, just to make up for their poor self-image.
That's very insightful.
Yeah, that's what Sigmund Freud told me. But the very worst bragger and boaster that I ever met was on one of our climbs up Everest. We had 7 attempts. All of them were successful. But you should have heard this guy and the stories that came out of his mouth. Space expedition, running the 2-minute mile, playing billiards with the Pope. I happen to know the Pope only plays stripes and solids. But this guy got to me so much, I had to leave the tent. I had to get out of there and sleep on the glacier. Better to risk another encounter with the abominable snowman than spend any more time with this man.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from there, Hap.
But of course, I didn't expect the avalanche. 350,000 tons of snow cleaved off that mountain and landed right on my knee. The bad knee. Well, I wanted to scream, but some of the crew was still sleeping, so I quietly just tried to dig myself out a bit. And after a few hours, I came upon this guy, this same guy, lying there unconscious, his head stuck in an ice crevice, and I had a 7-pound pick with me, and I could have chipped him out. But I couldn't guarantee he'd still have ears.
Right now, I would envy someone without ears.
Yeah. So, I tried this little trick that I learned during the war from de Gaulle. I melted the guy out of there. With a pot of hot coffee and a turkey baster.
And how about your self-confidence, Hap? Do you think you have a poor self-image?
Used to. Before I was knighted.
Don't ask him, Harold.
And now it's part of the show where we expose the 3 words men have such a hard time saying. I don't know. And here to prove the point on the expert section of the show, of course, is my Uncle Red and his good friend, Mr. Hap Shaughnessy. Letter number 1. Dear experts, last week my husband decided to save money by doing some car repairs himself. When he was done, our car was ruined. After they towed our 64 Valiant off to the junkyard, I found this lying in our driveway. Can you tell me what it is?
Wow, sure. That's a distributor cap. Obviously. Hey, everybody knows that, don't they, Harold?
Oh, yeah, that's a distributor cap right there, and that's what that is, obviously.
Distributor cap, if only, Red. Lady, this is a prototype for a top-secret weapon developed by the Pentagon during the Nixon years called used to be written on here. Octopus Magneto Torpedo.
Well, I knew it wasn't a regular disruptor cap.
That's a deadly weapon, Harold. In the water, all 6 arms fly out, so it looks like an octopus, and all 6 highly explosive charges magnetically attach themselves to the hull of the enemy submarine and explode, breaching the hull and sinking the sub.
That's a robo-octo...
Puss. Magneto covered.
Oh, yeah? Well, how come the robo-octopus thing says Valiant?
It's just a code name, Valiant.
What about the spark plug, or sorry, what about the explosive charges? AC Delco.
AC. Anti-submarine charge. And, Delco, any 5-year-old. Delco, short for delivery container. Anti-submarine charge delivery container. Anyway, they didn't end up using it. The Pentagon doubted that it would work.
Yeah, doubt is a powerful thing, isn't it, Hap?
And now it's that time of the show where we expose the 3 little words men find so hard to say. I don't know. And here in Expert Section today, of course, is my Uncle Red and Mr. Hap Shaughnessy. Dear experts, I do not consider myself a stupid person, such as, say, my brother, but try as I might, I do not understand Einstein's theories of relativity. Well, you know, Einstein said there were only 3 people who could understand relativity.
Really? I wonder who the other one is.
You understand relativity, Hap?
Just the stuff I worked on.
Oh, you worked with Einstein, did you?
Yeah, well, when he started out, I gave him a hand with his relativity.
But Einstein worked on relativity when he was really young.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mind giving the kid a hand. He had some good ideas. They were rough, but good.
Excuse me, Mr. Shaughnessy, but I still don't understand how it is that, Einstein is younger than you.
Was, Harold, was. I worked a lot faster than Albert, that's all. Much, much faster, so we aged at different rates.
Well, that's possible. I just all of a sudden felt a little older myself right there.
Well, there you go, Red. You'd have to be that 3rd person that Albert was talking about. You'd understand that time and space is relative and subjective.
Yeah, and I'm learning that so is the truth.
Welcome to the expert portion of the show. On this week's expert portion of the show, we have 2 experts, my Uncle Red and his good friend, water taxi captain, Mr. Hap Shaughnessy. And this week's letter goes as follows. Oh, cool. It's got a nautical theme. He's a thing. All right, dear experts, how can I help protect the whales?
Oh, man, all right. So I gotta tell you something, okay? I don't get this. I hear a lot about this lately. Okay, you got an animal here. This thing's 100 feet long, all right? Weighs about 1,000 tons. Now, if this thing can't take care of itself, really, I don't know what I can do for them, you know?
No, Red, Harold is talking about whaling.
Oh.
We gotta agree to stop killing the whales.
Oh, all right, fine then. All right, the next time I see a whale in Possum Lake, I'm just gonna back right off on it. And I'll tell you what else, I'll speak to Bernice and get her and her friends to just ease off on the whaling activities.
Uncle Red, just because nobody you know is killing whales doesn't mean it's not happening. You can't assume things aren't happening just because lodge members don't do it.
Yeah. I guess I'm the fella you're looking for, Harold. I was a whaler at one time. Never a professional, not like them big Japanese ships, you know. I was more of a sport whaler. I went out in the canoe, you know. A 20-footer, a big one.
Yeah, sounds like a big one.
Mr. Shaughnessy, how'd you get one of those big harpoon guns in a canoe?
A harpoon gun? Hell no. Where's the sport in that? No. I just wrap a rope around myself and I'd dive in, I'd grab onto his tail and I'd hang on and I'd wear him down. You know, it was a battle of endurance, me against the whale. It wasn't easy. Did you ever see the tails on those things? They're incredible.
Well, incredible tales be right up your alley, I would think.
Wow. Oh, Mr. Shaughnessy, how long did it take you to wear this whale down?
10, 20 months. Me out there thrashing around, hanging on for a year or more. I tell you, began to hate the taste of seafood. All except the stingray, you know, their little toes are a delicacy. That whale would collapse and I'd tow it into shore and all the people in that village would have enough blubber for the year.
Oh, Mr. Shaughnessy, that is a lot of blubber.
Yeah, I gave it up after I tried to do battle with the great white whale Moby Richard.
I think you mean Moby Dick.
No, I didn't know him that well.
Trying to feature those three little words that men find so hard to say. I don't know! Okay. Now, and to join my Uncle Red on the expert portion of the program is his best friend in the whole wide room, Mr. Hap Shaughnessy. Okay. Dear experts, is it true that basketball was invented by a Canadian?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. Basketball was invented by a Canadian, but he was living in the United States at the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was in the States. But I didn't give up my Canadian citizenship. No, I was down there doing some hush-hush work for the CIA, as was then known as Teddy's Rough Riders. They wanted me to come up with some sort of cover story as to what I did for a living, and I said, sports inventor. And to make the cover a bit more convincing, of course, wouldn't you know, I had to invent a sport. I sure didn't expect that darn game to catch on.
Hap, you don't expect us to believe that, do you?
Well...
Huh?
You got me there, No, that wasn't true. No, I sure did expect that darn game to catch on.
Mr. Shaughnessy, out of all the history books I've ever read, all of them, they say the Canadian was Mr. James Naismith.
James Naismith, yeah, that was my CIA cover name.
Funny you never mentioned that, Hap. You know, it's not like you to hold back.
Well, I know, Red, but all my spy work was top secret, you know. The only reason I can mention this now is because Franco is dead. And Spain is no longer a threat to world peace.
I'm finding this very hard to believe.
That's because you're listening.
I'm telling you, I invented basketball.
Oh, yeah. Hoop dreams.
No. Maybe Hap's right. Remember that time he was up on the drunk and disorderly? Huh? Dribbling all over the court?
It's that time of the show where we examine those three little words that men find so hard to say. I don't know. Excellent. Okay. All right. This week joining us on the experts part of the show is my Uncle Red and, of course, his best friend, Mr. Hap Shaughnessy. All right. And today's letter goes as follows. Dear experts, my husband is a nice enough guy in his own way. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be in anyone else's way. Now he's just in the way. When I look at my children, I wonder how much of a person's appearance, personality, and destiny is inherited in their genes. None whatsoever. It's a myth. It's a myth, is what it is.
Absolutely.
Sure. You can inherit appearance. Not your destiny. If that could be inherited, why aren't I the king of Russia?
Absolutely. I mean, this letter, is it not written by your wife, is it, Mr. Shaughnessy?
No. I'm talking about inheriting my family business as Tsar of Russia. Come on, Red. You met my mother.
Yeah, I met her once. She was running a chip wagon in Port Asbestos.
Before that, she was sole surviving daughter of the Romanov family. Her name was Anne. Anne, short for Anastasia.
We learned about this at school. Oh, yeah. When the Russians came in, you know, and the communists, they just took over and they killed the Russian family, the royal family and everything, and they said maybe there's even one daughter still surviving.
That's right. Tsar Nicholas, or as I used to call him, Grandpa Nick. He hid my mom in a large Fabergé egg. And a good member of the family, a good friend of the family, Rasputin, he mailed her to France. All right? And she was brought up in Paris. She even had a short fling with Ernest Hemingway.
The writer Ernest Hemingway?
So, pregnant with me, she emigrated to Canada, and she started up a chip wagon in Port Asbestos. Until the day she died, she couldn't stand to have Russian dressing on her salad. Brought back too many painful memories.
Your mother tell you that story that you have?
Yeah, every word of it.
Well, there you are, Harold. Some personality traits are inherited.
Welcome to the experts portion of the program, where we address those three little words that men find so hard to say. Okay, and here's today's letter. Dear experts, I'm thinking about having my body cryogenically frozen at my death so that I might be revived in the exciting world of the future. What do you think?
Oh, don't do it. I mean, you're going to wake up with an ice cream headache and knock your socks off.
It's not that bad.
You've had your head frozen, Hap?
You know, that would explain a lot.
No, we dabbled in cryogenics when I was at Harvard.
Hap, if you went to Harvard, I went to Yale.
So did I.
I said Yale, not jail.
No, I didn't go to Harvard. I was there as a consultant on cryogenics. Walt Disney was funding the project, and he wanted me in on it. Yeah?
Sir, Hap, are you telling us that Walt Disney was a personal friend of yours?
No, more like a business partner. I was the one who convinced him to go to 4 fingers instead of 5 on all of his cartoon characters. Cut his cost by 20%. Walt was one of the first to try cryogenics. Nobody knows where the body is.
Oh, yeah, he's at Port Asbestos Arena, Disney on Ice.
I'm not sure if I understand what cryogenics is.
Oh, don't encourage him, Mike, please.
They stop your heart, and then they immerse you in liquid nitrogen, and then in the future, they bring you back to life and fix whatever's wrong with you.
Yeah, like, say, freezer burn.
So, would you advise that it would be a good thing for this viewer?
Well, nobody's ever done it, so we don't have any results. Could be risky.
Oh, for sure. Like a couple years ago, old man Sedgwick had his assets frozen. Now he walks with a limp.
So, I would advise that this viewer should proceed with extreme caution.
Oh, you're right there, Mike. And it's also, you know, best to let some things lie.
That's what we do with Hap.
That's right.